What is going on, everybody? Today, I'm going to do a walkthrough on my HOBIE OUTBACK, explaining to y'all how I set up Lowrance Active Target. I've done a ton of research on YouTube, trying to see what everybody else was doing for their battery and their transducer cables and all of that stuff. Today, I'm gonna show you the solution that I came up with. All right, so there were a couple things that I really wanted to make sure of when I was installing Active Target. Number one, I wanted to make sure that it was easy to take off and put on the Kayak. There are certain situations where I definitely don't need or want Active Target, river runs, anywhere where I want to have the Kayak be as light as possible. And I don't need all the extra weight, the battery, the transducer, the extra graph. You know, the other thing that I wanted to make sure of was that it doesn't get in my way if I'm fishing and I'm not using it. I want to make sure that it can stay tucked up, out of the way. It's not going to be causing me any issues with casting or landing fish. So without further ado, let's get into the install. All right, so the first thing I did was mount the module for the Active Target and the Yak-Power system in the Blackpack. I'm putting a USB port in the back just so that I can run my GoPro camera. It's gonna be really nice not having to worry about the battery for the GoPro. And this is what it looks like once the USB port is installed. So now it's time for us to put a hole in the Blackpack for this switch for the Yak-Power system. I think I've decided that I'm going to use a Dremel and just go really slowly, poking holes all the way around. Here's the mess that I've made so far. All right, just to show you guys, the Yak-Power Switch is installed on the black box. I'm gonna use the YakAttack through hole kit, and I'm just gonna put another hole on the side of this Blackpack, and that's gonna be for the transducer and the Ethernet cable. All right, so here I'm drilling the hole for the transducer cable and the Ethernet cable. I'm just using a step down bit on the drill. Makes it really easy to get a nice uniform hole. And then I'm gonna go ahead and pull the transducer cable and the Ethernet cable through the hole and clean up those wires with some zip ties. And then I'm gonna go ahead and mount the through hole kit on the side of the Blackpack with the screws that come with it. So this is what the Blackpack looks like, completely done with the transducer connected. Here's what we've got going on for the transducer. I decided to go with the RailBlaza Hexx live pole. I think this is gonna be a really good solution. It's really easy. All you've gotta do is pull this tab up and the transducer swings down into the water, pull the handle up, and you're ready to go. It is a little bit expensive, I will say that. I think I paid over 200 bucks for this thing, so it is what it is. It's easy on and off. All I've got to do is slide it out and pull the cable out of the way. It's pretty easy. To put it back on, I just put the pole back into the mount, slide it in, and it's on the Kayak. Pull the tab up, swing it up, pull this down, and you are ready to go. You know, another thing is this mount right here on the track, because the edges hang off the side, it's kind of wobbly. See that? So what I'm thinking is I'll just put this clamp on this hole right here. So here's what it looks like when it's clamped on the other side of the mount. It's just a lot more stable. I mean, there's hardly any play in it at all. And that's kind of what I'm looking for. I just want to make sure that I'm gonna get the best picture on the graph. I think having a stable mount is gonna help out with that. So I finally got the battery from Dakota Lithium and I put it in the middle of this Blackpack. I really want to have as much extra storage in the Blackpack as I can and not have it just be the battery. So I made this little top cover. It's just made out of wood that I had laying around. I put these little handles on there so you could get it in and out, but all it does is goes right in here like such. Now I can put some things back here. That's pretty nice. Check this out. Ooh. So you probably just heard the GoPro power on. All right, so this is gonna be a quick demonstration to see how long it takes to take on and off the active target. I'm just gonna pick it up, I'm gonna carry it, put it on the kayak. Then I'm gonna take the transducer and the cable, gonna run it right up here. Once I have the transducer put onto the kayak, I'm gonna take the cable, I'm gonna tuck it underneath the seat leg just to keep it out of the way. Now I'm gonna take the Ethernet cable and I'm going to run it over to the graph. And I usually just run it right underneath the seat. Then I'm gonna go to the other side and plug it in. I'm gonna plug my GoPro cable into the USB port and put the bungees on the Blackpack. And that's pretty much it. Now I can turn on the Yak-Power Switch. I can turn on the module for the active target. I can turn on the USB port for the GoPro camera. I can go ahead and turn on the graph and we're ready to go. So I set up the S to run the USB port in the back for the GoPro, and I set up the #1 port to run the module. Here's how I've ran my wires. I just have the transducer cable and the Ethernet cable along with the Humminbird cable coming right through here and under the seat, and they both come out right here. So the way that I've ran my batteries for my actual graphs, I just have 2 of these Naqua 5 amp hour lithium batteries. So I used another one of the YakAttack through hole kits for this hole. So once I plug these in, I can turn on my graphs. All right, so let's say I've been using active target and now I want to stop using it. All I have to do is reach back here and press the #1 button. That'll turn off the module and I'm not going to be wasting battery life. So I've got my Humminbird transducer here on this YakAttack switchblade mount. That's super easy. When I want to use it, I just drop it in the water. It works pretty well for me. I like how simple it is. I've got the kayak cushions on the back and the seat. I think that's going to help out a lot, being more comfortable. So I also got a new net. It's a Ranger net, it's aluminum handle. Pretty basic, got the rubber mesh. Well guys, that is my setup for 2024. I've got to be honest with you, I haven't had a chance to take this out on the water yet and test it out, but we do have a tournament coming up late January. We've got the HOBIE BOS down in Florida on the Harris chain of lakes. I can't wait to get this thing out there, try out the active target. That's the video today, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed it, and as always, we'll catch you on the water.